Hi everybody, happy Monday to you guys. So today I want to talk about manifestation, how to manifest. There's a whole lot of talk about this thing. You don't even have to look very far to see somebody talking about manifestation, but people don't really understand how it works. So I'm going to break it down for you guys to really understand what manifestation is and how it works. Okay, now for you to understand manifestation, you need to understand the rules that apply to it, because there are rules. Okay, in terms of rules, when I say rules, I don't mean rules in the human context. When you're talking about rules and regulation, I mean laws that things have to follow, universal laws that keep everything working in perfect order. Okay, so now manifestation is people's attempt to pull something or to bring into fruition or into the physical reality what they want. What people do not understand, and why a lot of people do not succeed, is that they don't understand the relationship between the spiritual and the physical. They don't understand how it works, the nitty-gritty of it. Okay, so there are three planes that each human person exists in. Each human person exists in three planes: this physical plane, the soul plane, and the spirit plane. Your soul is not your spirit. Those are the three planes that you are existing in at every particular point in time. Now, the connection between your body and your spirit is through the mediator or the mediation of your soul. So your spirit is connected to your soul, and the soul is connected to the body. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, the spirit realm has different laws, and its physical realm has different laws. On this physical reality, there are two huge laws that you have to understand when it comes to manifestation. There's the law of time, and there's the law of what they call it. What is that word? There's law of time, and then there's law of space, and then there's also a third law, which is actually law of time. It's the law of time and space. In other words, this physical reality is bound by time and is bound by space. Okay, it's bound by time, is bound by space. The soul level is bound by space, not by time. Your spirit level there's no time, there's no space. Does this make sense? The physical reality is bound by space and time. Your soul level is bound by space. There's no time. The spirit realm has no time and space. In other words, once you think a thought, you generate a thought, it's already done in the spirit, because there's no time or space. So it manifests immediately. But you don't see it, right? It manifests in the spiritual realm. If you take a seed and plant in the soil, because of the fact that the time factor in this physical reality is going to take time for it to grow. It's going to take time for it to manifest. It's going to take time for this tree to grow and produce fruit because of the time factor. Also, space. You got to plant that seed in the right space. Okay, so now, there's a bee flying around here. So now, when it comes to when it comes to manifesting, right? You have to first of all think the thought, because all is mental, all is spirit, everything is spirit. Because you are really a spirit being having a physical experience, right? So to create something or to generate something or to come up with something that will manifest in the physical reality, it has to first begin from the spirit. Because if you look at God, how he created, he came out and said, "Let there be light." The Bible said that it was dark and everywhere was dark, there was void, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the deep, right? And God comes out and says, "Let there be light." That was all happening in the spiritual realm. Now, in the spiritual realm, if you think something, it manifests immediately, like I said, because there's no issue of time and space. So when you're trying to manifest something, you got to understand that it will take time for that to go from where you created it to where you're going to say it. Because remember, it has to go from the spirit to the soul to the physical. Now, if you decide, let's say you're trying to manifest a husband, okay? To manifest a husband, you have to be pregnant with it. You have to have it already. You have to have created a husband in the spirit. You have to have created the thought, right? Because sometimes a lot of us say we want a husband, but then in our minds we're thinking we're not going to have one. We're thinking we're not good enough for one. We're thinking we're never going to find one. You don't have a husband. You may say you want one, but you don't have one because you haven't created one. There's no room in your life for one. There's no room in your mind for one. Does this make sense? Because sometimes when people say things, for instance, a mother, anybody who wants to have a baby has to be pregnant first to have a baby. I don't care how much you desire a child. That baby has to be formed in your womb first for you to be able to birth it. It's the same principle. You cannot manifest what you want. You can only manifest what you already have. And you have it by creating it. What does creation mean? In the spirit realm, you create by thinking it. But you think it and then you have to think it into being. Because remember that as soon as you think a thought, it's already done. But you're not going to see it if you don't have space for it. Because for that thought to go from your spirit realm to the soul level, there has to be space in your soul for it. This is where, what do you call that, vision boards come in. What is the point of vision boards? Vision boards is not that you look at them and say, this is what I want, and try to manifest them. No. Vision board is a way for you to create space in your soul for something. It's kind of like if you go to, how will I explain this? If you, let's say you are afraid of water and you want to learn how to swim, but you're scared of water. So you start out by going to a pool and dipping your feet in water. What are you trying to do? You're trying to create space in your soul for future absence of fear. You're trying to create space in your soul for your future dream of being able to swim. But you start by putting your feet in water, right? And so when you put your feet in water and you feel the water, okay, you're not scared. Okay, you're kind of creating the space in your soul for one day jumping into water without being afraid. It's the same thing with manifestation. You have to have space in your soul for what you want to happen. Because if you have no space in your soul, there's no space for it to be. It's kind of like somebody who wants to be pregnant. If you have fibroid, there's no fibroid covering your entire cervix, there's no place for the baby to grow. So for you to have a baby, you have to first of all get rid of the fibroid, so there'll be space. So a lot of us are struggling with creating the reality we want because we don't realize that we don't have the space for it. That's why it's not manifesting. You're sitting up here thinking about how to make money and all of that, but still in your soul you have poverty mentality. In your soul you don't feel like you are good enough. In your soul you don't feel like you have any value or you have anything to bring to the world. In your soul you don't feel like you deserve what you want. That's the truth of the whole thing. So even if you are thinking it, there's no space in your soul for it to go into, to grow, to germinate, because it has to be in your soul and stay there and grow and gather density, because it has to gather density, enough density for it to manifest in the physical. It's kind of like a baby. When you are pregnant with a baby, you're not going to birth the baby in 2 months because the baby is not ready. She hasn't gathered the density that she needs to be able to come out. Because when the baby has gathered enough density, which for humans takes 9 months, the baby will tell you it's time to come out. The baby will come out without any effort on your part. That's the same thing with manifesting. When what you want to manifest has gathered enough density, then it will come out on its own. But you have to feed it though. You have to give it room to grow. You have to give it room to grow. I hope this makes sense and helps people understand exactly how manifestation works. It will take time for you to come into this physical reality. It will take time, and you have to have space, even in your physical reality, to accommodate it. But once you create space in your soul, you will automatically create space in your physical. Because let's say you want a man and you've created space in your heart for it, you will naturally already also create space in your physical reality for it. So that when, because you cannot have something that you haven't created space for. You can't. Does this make sense? I know this is a long video, but I have to explain this. DM me if you have any questions, okay?